What's going on, YouTube? This is Dave's Daily Trades, where I bring you daily AMC technical analysis, price predictions, and of course, the latest and greatest news. In today's episode, we're going to be breaking down the earnings report, going over the new initiatives that Aron is bringing to the table. Some very exciting things, I have to say. We're also going to be going over a very interesting report coming from the Fed, and then lastly, touching upon where we're headed this week and major support and resistance lines that we have to be mindful of. But without further ado, we're going to roll right into the intro and then hop into the technical analysis. And we're back. All right, guys, solid day for AMC. We are up 8.06% today, and at one point over 10% on the day. But after hours, with a slight miss on EPS, we are down right now just about 5.3%. So some interesting points to note. So what happened today? So, of course, we did start with a pre-market jump, which was just about 2.5%-ish. But we did come down right away in the morning and retest and fill this gap over here, which was very nice to see. Once we did fill that gap, we were literally off to the races throughout the majority of the day and hit a high during normal trading hours of just about $46. The high was $45.95, which is phenomenal to see. We did do a little bit of cooling off into after hours, and I think a lot of people were taking profits, who are more of the day traders or swing traders, before earnings, because earnings are very unexpected for AMC. Now, if we do look into after hours, it was high volatility, but I do have to say low volume for the most part. So we did have this massive wick up to 47.50, but once we did hit that, we saw the selling start coming in. But like I previously just stated, volume on this dip in after hours was very, very low. But of course, guys, like I always say, take after hours with a grain of salt because a lot can change tomorrow. And as we talk about tomorrow, let's go into some price predictions and look at where we may be headed. So, of course, as I've been mentioning, we have been following this trend line right here that was established first on 1029. Now, what happens? Well, every time we do tend to get away from this trend line, we have small little pullbacks to bring it closer, and then we start having these massive jumps. Now, what happened today? Well, we had a solid day, phenomenal day, if I have to say. And we did divert from this trend line a little bit, which is totally fine. After hours, on the other hand, is bringing us much closer to this line. And my personal thoughts, sorry about that, going into tomorrow is we actually come down in pre-market because, of course, this selling does not look like it's going to be slowing down anytime soon. And we start to trend near this $42.20 mark. I would personally love to see another touch point at this level right here, right around $42, before we make that final retest of this flag shape pattern here. Now, my personal thoughts, we're absolutely going to blow through this downward moving trend line tomorrow, and we are going to start to make a retest at that $48 mark. Now, breaking above $48 would be absolutely huge, guys, because after $48, we really have nothing in our way up until this $52 range, which is only not the greatest resistance level, if I have to say. So breaking 48 really starts that upward momentum that we really need, hopefully bringing in volume from those day traders, swing traders, and momentum traders. And that, to me, would be a very interesting end of the week. Now, seeing this happen sometime tomorrow would be absolutely ideal, but don't worry if we do consolidate a little bit after this earnings report, because that's what AMC tends to do a day or two after, as we did discuss and touch point on Friday's video. So totally fine with some sideways trading action for the next couple of days, but really that just builds up our momentum to break through these trend lines as I just established. So we're just going to hop into some very interesting pieces. Of course, we will start off with earnings because that is super important. So as the expectations were for quarter three, we had $763.2 million in revenue and earnings per share, geez, I can't talk today, of negative 0.44, 44 cents. So as we can see, we did beat revenue and it was a slight miss on EPS. But I do want to just bring up this earnings press release and just show you guys some of the key financial results, because this is really trending in the right direction. And we're not talking about a small trend. We're talking about massive moves and expansions within the business model of AMC. So, of course, as you can see, all of these numbers throughout all of this is trending in the right direction. Feel free to pause this or take a screenshot. It also will be linked in the description below if you guys want to take a read. It's 16 pages long, but I really just want to look at the financial results and make sure that AMC is moving in the right direction, which we absolutely are. And we are talking about massive moves. Now, on the other hand, guys, some very exciting things that Aron himself was announcing. Well, NFTs, we knew about that. Very exciting stuff. Accepting cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and possibly even Shiba Inu sometime in 2022. Very exciting stuff. But some new things on the table is AMC is actually discussing, or in the works with, launching potentially, this is all potential, guys, their own cryptocurrency. Now, that to me would be absolutely huge and would fall in line with their new business model of what they're trying to go after. So we're talking NFL games, we're talking WWE, we're talking UFC, we're talking a lot of things on the horizon, guys. New films, new partnerships. I mean, the list goes on and on. And in my opinion, I've listened to the past 3 earnings report, and this was by far the most amazing earnings report, because there's just so much out there that Aron and the AMC team is trying to do right now. But on the other hand, I want to say shout out to everyone, because if you guys did listen, all of those ideas, I would say 90% of those ideas actually came from the shareholders themselves. I mean, that's just so huge. And name one other CEO that actually engages with fans and shareholders on Twitter, takes their suggestions and actually implements them. Like, that is truly mind-blowing to me. Something I've never seen from a CEO before of a public company, and is really one of the biggest reasons why AMC is going to succeed in the short term, but also the long term to come, guys. So that is really amazing. Oh, and I forgot the popcorn business. I think that's going to be freaking huge. Also merchandise, t-shirts, all that stuff. So a lot of great things, a lot of good ideas. And I mean, AMC in the long run is really going to succeed because of Aron, but most importantly, because you guys, the shareholders who are offering such great ideas. Now, I do want to just take a look and what this is, and this comes from John Hollowatch on Twitter. And what this is a complete replica of the I guess you could say now, the mid-May run-up into that June 2nd explosion that we had, and literally the same exact pattern laid out in these blue lines right here. And I just want to show you guys exactly where we are on this trend. So, of course, we are somewhere in this pattern right here. Of course, like I said, take after hours with a grain of salt. It does not matter. This is simply just taking previous historical data, overlapping it with where we sit today. And yes, it looks so familiar. Now, is this going to be 100% accurate and 100% correct? Well, of course not. It's never going to be 100%. But, of course, in the next couple of days, we can really gauge where we are headed. So, if we are following this, it looks like the next couple of days, and this seems to be on the 4-hour chart right here, we should start making moves towards this $52 to $53 region. Once we do hit that, we are going to cool off somewhere around this $44, $45 region for a couple of days. And once that consolidation starts and finishes, well, that's exactly our road to all-time highs. And I really think that something in this shape or form is going to be playing out in the next couple of weeks. And really, this chart has it as, of course, no dates, no expectations. But this chart, if everything plays out exactly the same as middle of May, well, we're looking at November 23rd to be the start of the massive moves up. But guys, I do want to say and repeat myself here, it doesn't matter if this happens. If we're off by a couple of days, a couple of weeks, it could happen sooner, it could happen later. It doesn't matter, guys. I just want to show you guys what it looks like comparative to the last run up and where we currently sit. So please do not take ridiculous call options because of this. Please invest properly and with some knowledge up there. Now, the last article I did want to just touch upon comes from MarketWatch and says exactly this. Meme stocks like GameStop, AMC pose risk to financial stability, the Fed says. So this is really interesting. And just reading through this, the most of the reasoning behind the risk to the financial stability is really based on the inflow of options activities and derivative tools out there, because a lot of these new investors are taking these quote-unquote YOLO plays with AMC and GameStop, which, guys, it's totally fine. It is what it is. But I think this article fails to really get into the other side of things that we talk about on daily and weekly basis here, about the other market risks that are truly out there. So I just thought it was kind of interesting and almost funny that they they relate the GameStop and AMC to risk on the financial stability. Seems to me that the financial stability is actually in whack on its own, and GameStop and AMC are actually just exposing the instability within the overall markets, in my opinion at least. But guys, that's all that I have for today's video. I just almost knocked my mic over and shit, I may have broken it. I'm just too excited right now. But that's all I have for today. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Peace out and tune in for the next one.